people sort of question Liverpool for letting him go. They had no real option. He wanted to leave. He asked to leave the club sort of 12 months before he went.
Summer 2022, Sadio Mane, Champions League winner, Premier League champion, one-third of arguably the greatest front three in Liverpool's modern history, is sold to Bayern Munich. No transfer request headline, no public fallout, just a deal, quietly agreed for less than Liverpool initially wanted. For years, fans have debated why a club would let go of a player still performing at an elite level. The truth, it turns out, isn't one single reason. It's several, and they all point in the same direction.
He's the one player that I played with that I've always thought I'm thankful I never played against him.
He'd have caused me nightmare. He would have been my worst nightmare. That run.
The numbers don't lie, but they don't tell the whole story either.
It is chipped in up towards Font. Who's it going to fall to? Oh, Peller off the post and then in! Mane!
Let's get the obvious part out of the way. Mane was 30 years old, with just 1 year left on his Liverpool contract, and had given no indication he was signing an extension. Liverpool had been conscious of needing to evolve their squad without letting sentiment be the driving factor, and a 30-year-old entering the final year of his deal was exactly the kind of asset a smart club sells at peak value, rather than risk losing for nothing 12 months later.
Would you go with an argument that Mane is actually more important for Liverpool than Salah right now?
Absolutely, yeah, he's the man.
That's the financial logic, but it's not the full picture, because Mane didn't have to leave. He could have signed a short extension, tested the market from a position of contract security, and stayed at a club where he was a certified legend. But he chose not to. What Mane himself said:
when they talk to me, and especially the coach, tell me the team, how the way to play, and the tactical stuff as well, and I was so fascinated. And
this is the part that actually explains the why. Mane later opened up about his decision, revealing that although he briefly considered other Premier League clubs, he recognized few destinations could match Liverpool's standing, which is ultimately what pushed him towards a genuinely different challenge abroad, rather than a lateral move within England. When he was unveiled at Bayern, Mane was even more direct about the emotional pull behind his move. He said Bayern's pitch to him made him feel like he fit into their plans more than anywhere else, and that the moment their vision was presented to him, he was immediately excited by it. In other words, after 6 trophy-laden years doing everything possible at Liverpool, Mane wanted a genuinely new chapter, not just a bigger paycheck elsewhere in England. Liverpool's side of the negotiation.
Mane again, 4th touch of the move, lovely goal!
Liverpool didn't make it easy, at least not financially. The club rejected 2 earlier bids from Bayern before accepting a third, larger offer, reportedly turning down proposals in the region of 20 to 25 million euros before eventually settling for a package that could rise close to 41 million euros. But there was also a human element to how the negotiation played out. Reports at the time suggested Liverpool ultimately compromised on their valuation, partly because Mane had asked to leave in a respectful, low-drama way, and after 8 years of service between Southampton and Liverpool combined, the club chose not to dig in and block a player who had earned the right to choose his next step. That's a very different picture from a club actively pushing a star man out of the door. This was closer to Liverpool honoring a request from someone they respected, while still making sure they got paid fairly for it. What happened next puts it in perspective.
He said Sadio fell short of the expectations last season. The competitive situation is extremely high for him.
Here's the twist that makes this transfer worth revisiting years later. Mane's Bayern spell did not go the way anyone expected. He managed just 12 goals in a single injury-disrupted season, fell out with teammate Leroy Sané at one point, and was sold to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia just 12 months after arriving. His agent later claimed the exit from Bayern wasn't purely a footballing decision, alleging discomforts within the club about Mane becoming their highest earner. Bayern have never confirmed that part of the story, and it's worth treating it as one side's account of a messy exit rather than settled fact. Either way, the Bayern chapter didn't diminish what actually explains the original Liverpool sale, an aging contract situation Liverpool needed to manage sensibly, combined with a player who, after everything he'd already won, genuinely wanted something different.
I was still a Liverpool player, and we had really important games for me at that time.
The takeaway. So what's the real reason Liverpool sold Sadio Mane? Not a falling out, not a tactical decision by Klopp, not Liverpool trying to cash in on a declining asset before it was too late, even if that logic did play a role in the numbers. It was a 30-year-old legend, 1 year from the end of his deal, who had achieved almost everything possible at one club, and who wanted to find out what a genuinely new challenge looked like, even if it meant walking away from his side that adored him.